According to the state of New Hampshire, a crew is one or more men working with a piece of mechanically powered equipment that has a capacity of exceeding 3 gallons of liquid, 25 gallons of dry material, and B, those men working within speaking distance of each other and applying pesticides by hand, or each operating mechanically powered equipment that has a capacity of not more than 3 gallons of liquid and 25 pounds of dry material. Here's a quiz question. Whenever pesticides are being used in a commercial application, you must remember either a supervisory or operational license holder must remain within speaking distance of all persons who are applying pesticides. A supervisory license holder does not actually have to be within speaking distance, but does need to be available for contact throughout the period when the pesticides are being applied. Here's a question on janitors. Janitors who use general use pesticides in non-food areas and buildings and property immediately adjacent to the building, and those using prepackaged general use aerosols or aerosol dispensing devices for control of flying insects in food handling areas shall be exempt from certification requirements. Looking at another quiz question, we must provide the division with a list of all certified applicators in our employment. We must provide the division with a written notification within 30 days when a certified applicator is hired or leaves the business. We must display the registration number on all on-highway vehicles used in transportation or application of pesticides. On the 5-year recertification, commercial applicators need 12 recertification points. Private applicators will need 15 recertification credits, or you will have to, when looking at record keeping, written records are required by the EPA, USDA, WPS, New Hampshire Department of Agriculture, Markets and Food, daily use records, and annual use reports. Daily use records contain information about each individual pesticide application made, must be filled out every time pesticides are applied, and must be kept on file for 2 years. The annual use report documents the total amount of each pesticide product used over the course of a year. It's filled out annually and submitted to the New Hampshire Division of Pesticide Control each year by December 1st. Daily record keeping by registrants or permittees must include the crop, site of treatment, address or town, pesticide and formulation employed, dosage applied, method of application, date or dates of application, target organisms, and the registrants or permittees of the division who participated. Looking at the pesticide daily use form, it includes the month, date, time, physical address, crop or commodity, the applicator, and the method of application. It also includes the target pest organism, the trade or product name, pesticide formulation, EPA number, and active ingredient, all included on the pesticide daily use form. Looking further at that, on the reports, you need the percent of active ingredient or pounds per gallon, number or acres of units treated, dosage, total amount of product, and re-entry interval. Annual reporting of pesticide use has to include the name of applicator and firm, the year of the report covers, location of site application, list of licensees or permittees whose use is included in the report, trade name of the pesticide, amount of active ingredient and concentrate, EPA registration number, major crop or site treated, number of acres treated with each pesticide reported, total amount of concentrated pesticide used. Why might you lose your license? You may lose your license and it may be suspended or revoked if you do not fulfill your recertification requirements, if you violate any New Hampshire or federal laws or rules. The division requires pesticide applicators to annually report pesticides used. When is this report due? This report is due December 1st. It reports on all pesticides used up to October 31st of that year. Annual report is due to the Division of Pesticides, New Hampshire Department of Agriculture, Market and Food, using the annual reporting form found on the division website. Which of the following is true in regards to pesticides being applied in a way that is not in accordance with their direction labels? Number one, when used on agricultural commodities, pesticides may be applied at concentrations less than is specified on the labeling. 2. When prescribed by a specialist from cooperative extension, pesticides may be applied using a procedure that is not included in the pesticide labeling, but will reduce environmental risk without compromising pesticide efficiency. C. When used to control invasive plant species, pesticides may be applied to species that are not listed on the label, as long as the site of application is listed on the label and the label does not specifically prohibit application to the target species. All of these are true. Looking at the label recommendations which must be followed, mixing and loading shall not be performed within 400 feet of gravel-packed wells used for public water supply or within 250 feet of other wells. They shall not be performed within 75 feet of surface water or private wells. Mixing and loading shall have backflow prevention and shall be maintained by an anti-siphoning device on the fill hose or water supply line. The fill holes shall be kept above the surface of the water chemical solution in the tank at all times. Spills should be cleaned up immediately to prevent pesticides from soaking into the ground. Looking at the mixing and loading of pesticides, again, they shall not be performed within 400 feet of gravel-packed wells for public water supply or within 250 feet of other wells so used. Mixing and loading of pesticides shall not be performed within 75 feet of surface water or private wells. Empty pesticide containers must be stored in an appropriate pesticide storage facility until properly cleaned, triple rinsed with an appropriate solvent. Mixing and loading of pesticides shall not be performed within 75 feet of surface water or private wells. The fill holes shall be kept above the surface water chemical solution in the tank at all times. Chemigation refers to the application of pesticides through an irrigation system by injecting or introducing the chemical into the water flowing into the system. Which of the following components are required in all chemigation systems? The answer in chemigation systems is the backflow preventer, low pressure drain, and interlock. Setbacks for storage of pesticides includes 400 feet from gravel-packed wells used for public water supply, 75 feet, private well, active or inactive, 400 feet of a non-gravel-packed public water supply, or 75 feet of surface waters, public or private. Setbacks for mixing and loading of pesticides are 400 feet, gravel-packed well used for public water supply, 75 feet, private water well, active or inactive, 250 feet of non-gravel well used for public water supply, and 75 feet of surface waters, public or private. Setbacks for applying pesticides would be 400 feet from a gravel well used for public water supply, 250 feet non-gravel public well used for water supply, 25 feet non-public surface waters or public water supply, and 50 feet of public waters. Setbacks for pesticide containers used in chemigation is going to be 400 feet from gravel-packed wells used in public water supply, 250 feet non-gravel-packed well used for public water supply, 75 feet private water well, inactive or active, and 75 feet from surface waters, public or private. Here's a bonus question. In what situation would it be permissible to locate a pesticide container for chemigation less than 75 feet from a private water or surface? Answer: if the container holds 5 gallons or less of liquid or 50 pounds or less of non-liquid, an appropriate secondary container system is in place. Setback for pesticide containers used in chemigation is 400 feet from gravel-packed well used for public water supply, 250 feet non-gravel well used for public water supply, 75 feet private water well, active or inactive, 75 feet of surface waters, public or private. Setbacks for public water supplies: no person shall apply pesticides within 250 feet of the reference lines of surface waters or their tributaries used for public water supply, for a radial distance of 5 miles as measured from the water supply intake within the boundaries of the watershed surrounding that intake, without being in possession of a special permit issued by the Division upon consultation with the Water Division and Department of Environmental Services. Quiz question. Which of the following is not a true statement? An effective anti-siphon device must be in place when pest control equipment using pesticides is drawing water from A, an above-ground storage tank, B, a man-made private pond, C, any river, D, any surface washers in the state of New Hampshire. Answer is A, an above-ground storage tank. It's not true that you have to have an anti-siphon device on an above-ground storage tank. Site management areas means a pesticide use, handling, storage, or distribution area which is connected to ground or surface water source where pesticides are detected, and the site has a history of pesticide that is contaminant in the past 5 years. The Division has determined that supplementary restrictions on pesticide use or handling are necessary to minimize or prevent further contamination. Pesticides are classified in the state of New Hampshire and, of course, must be registered with the Department of Agriculture, Markets, and Food, the Division of Pesticide Control, and also with the EPA. General use compounds, prohibited limited use compounds, restricted use compounds, and prohibited compounds. Special permits. Special permits are required in order to make pesticide applications within the setbacks of water supply intakes, within the setbacks of public water supply wells, to any surface water, to protected shorelands or wetland for control of forest insects, mosquitoes, or black flies, within the setbacks of surface water for the control of termites, within the setbacks of surface waters on a case-by-case basis, to the rights-of-way, to woodland areas of greater than 50 acres, within site management areas, by aircraft, and using prohibited limited-use compounds. Which of the following is true of catch basins used in conjunction with pesticide storage facility floors? Catch basins may not have attached pipes. Which of the following is true of the capacity of catch basins used in conjunction with pesticide storage authorities? The answer is there is no minimum size requirement for catch basins.